From being in this business for over 35 years and being in 16,000 homes, here are 4 common mistakes in closing that I see salespeople make over and over that cost them a lot of money. Please watch until the end to see all 4. Now, to put all of this in the right perspective, keep in mind that closing is not selling. They must be sold through your sales presentation and see the value of what you're selling. Then the close is just the next step of helping them get what they want and making the final step of spending the money as easy and painless as possible. If you like these type of videos, please subscribe, and for more free home improvement sales training, check out my blog listed in the description below. The first mistake I see is salespeople feeding the customer the objection, which then gives the customer a way out. This happens when the customer's not buying and the salesperson doesn't know the real objection to overcome. For example, the customer says, "Well, I need to think about it," and then the salesperson says, "Why? Do you have to get other estimates, or do you have to speak to someone else?" This is wrong on many levels. First, it puts pressure on the customer because when you say why, is it because of, that's a pressuring type of close. It's like saying, "Why are you not doing it?" The danger is that nobody likes feeling pressured, and when the customer starts to feel that, the easiest way to stop that is to shut the dialogue down. For you to close effectively, you need to keep the dialogue going. The other reason this is wrong is because that might not even be the real objection, but by volunteering this to the customer, you're giving them a way out. They say, "Yeah, you're correct. We want to get other estimates." Internally, they're thinking, "Hey, thanks for that. I wasn't sure what to say there, and that lets me off the hook." Closing is not multiple choice where you say, "Is it because of this?" "No." "Well, how about this?" "No." Or this. If you've done your sales presentation correctly, which means that they want it and think it's worth it, there can only be one real objection, and that's the money. You need to learn to convert the smoke screens like, "I have to think about it," to the money. You do this not by asking feeding questions, but by asking probing questions. For example, I might say, "I know you want to think about it. That's not a problem. Do you mind if I ask you a question, though?" "Oh, no, go ahead." "What's the main thing you need to think about? Is it this?" and I point to the window or a sample of it, or is it this? And I point to the price. In most cases, they point to the price. Then I say, "So other than the money, is this what you want?" When they say yes, then I've uncovered and isolated the real objection, which is the price. Another example of uncovering objections without feeding might be if you're farther along in the closing process, and your company might have a discount if they buy now to create urgency. Even if they were able to save an additional $1,000 by making a purchase that day, and yet the customer was still hedging, I could try to uncover the true objection by saying, "If you don't mind me asking, what's keeping you from saving the most amount of money possible?" Pro tip: closing in a positive way like that is far superior to closing in a negative way, which would be, "Why do you want to spend more money by waiting?" That seems pressuring again, and there's no good answer they could give you. It's far better to say, "What's keeping you from saving the most amount of money?" It's much more positive to ask that way. The second mistake I see people make is when they have multiple discounts, such as when they have a sale price, a coupon offer, and or a buy today discount, that they tend to deliver them all at once instead of step by step with time in between each discount. For example, if the salesperson has a $500 off coupon and a $750 off summer sale, and then an additional today discount of 10%, they deliver the price by saying, "Well, the kitchen's $25,000, and with it you get the $500 off coupon with the summer sale of $750 off. But if you make the purchase today and save us the time of coming back, you can save another 10%, so your total price is only $21,375. If you do it that way, you're not building the value of the discounts. Time between discounts, even if it's only seconds, gives the discounts more impact. For example, if I was selling you a car and said it's a $25,000 car, but today there's $3,000 off, so it's only $22,000, in your mind, in most cases, it's like a $22,000 car. But if I told you the car was $25,000 and let you leave the lot, and then a day later I called you and said, "Hey, remember that car you were looking at yesterday for $25,000? Well, we just took another $3,000 off for a sale, and now you can get it for $22,000. That discount would have a lot more impact because you're allowing time between discounts. So if you give all of your discounts at once, the final price seems like the regular price and the discounts have less impact. Now look at how it would sound if you said, Okay, let me explain how our pricing works. You get this and this and this, and all of this makes your new kitchen only $25,000. Do you have any questions? No? Now don't forget we have a summer sale going on now, and it saves you another $750 if you order this by May. Oh wow, so that $25,000 did include the summer sale? Now when they say this, it means the original price was what they thought the cost was, and now the discounts have more impact. Oh no, it doesn't include the sale, so your price is only $24,250. Now don't forget you also had a coupon for $500 off, so now your selling price is only $23,750. You have to make them believe the first price is real for the sale and the discount to have impact that they're getting a deal. That's why one thing I always train salespeople is to never deliver the first price and say, well, here's the retail price. Nobody pays retail, and now that price doesn't seem real, and the discounts won't have as much impact. Now, if you have a today discount, a lot of salespeople explain that instantly with the price, but it'll be a lot more effective if you hold off on that until you have solved the problem, and the only thing left is to create urgency. A today discount is not to lower the price so they'll buy. You should have created enough value in your sales presentation that they don't need an extra discount to justify the price. You should solve whatever problems come up in the close, such as making it affordable to them and working everything out so they either buy or they'll say, well, that's great. I want this and I can afford it. Just give me a couple of days. In other words, you've solved the problem and the only thing missing is urgency. Now a today discount will have a lot more impact because it's not getting them to buy, it's just creating urgency for them to buy now. Believe me, it'll have way more impact if you can hold off in introducing a today discount instead of just delivering it with the price all at once. Now, the third mistake in closing is not understanding your financing, and then you try to solve the problem the wrong way. One part of this means that you have to understand how to work payments without dropping the price. If the issue is affordability, it's a payment close. You're working monthly payments. When they say they can't afford it, you need to get the gap in the monthly payment they can't afford by asking, well, how much too much is that monthly payment? Now, if you're at $700 a month and they say they can afford $500 a month, then your gap is $200 a month. Now you don't have to close $700 a month, just close the $200 a month gap. Most reps start to drop the price here. Translation, give up commission. Dropping the price should be the last thing you do. The first thing you can do is ask if they can put more money as a down payment. That doesn't cost you anything and it starts to lower the payment. Now, for you to work the close effectively, you should at least know the basics, such as for every $1,000 the price is lowered by putting a larger down payment, how much does it lower the monthly payment? Is it $10, $20, or more? You need to be able to quickly respond if the customer says that, well, we can put another $2,000 as a down payment, that you can instantly say, well, that will lower your payment from $600 a month to $550 a month, or whatever the correct amount is. Or another thing I see is reps who don't understand financing, that when the customer can't afford it, the first thing they do is offer a 12-month or 24-month no payment or interest plan. This isn't going to work unless they can pay it off within 24 months. Unless they're expecting a windfall or lump sum within 24 months, this doesn't have any effect and won't work. Now, to be sure, I at least ask them if they think they can pay this off within 24 months. Now, if they say no, then this isn't a solution. In the simplest terms, it breaks down to over $1,041 a month if you take the $25,000 and divide it by 24. Now, if they can't afford $700 a month, how would this help them? In the rare case they don't understand, and it just sounds good because they don't pay now, you're actually hurting them if they buy it, because when they don't pay it off, the interest accrues back to day one, and they paid an extra 2 years worth of interest without making a dent in the principal. Understanding financing means that besides getting a bigger deposit, that you may have ways to extend the length of the financing, or may have other types of financing with lower payments for financing the same amount. I've seen salespeople lose deals because they tell me the customer wanted to be at $300 a month, and because they didn't understand the financing, didn't realize that they could have done that for the customer. You need to understand all the financing options that your company offers and how they work. The fourth mistake I see salespeople make is they're just not practiced and prepared. There's no excuse for you not being prepared. The great thing about this job is you already know what they're going to say at the end, even before you go in the home. No matter what home improvement you sell, they always say the same things at the end. I need to think about it, it's too much money, or I want to get other estimates. So if you already know what they're going to say at the end, how can you not be ready? It's like your professional boxer where every time you go in the ring, you know that your opponent's going to lead with the left hook. And every time they do, they knock you out. You would think there would come a point where you'd learn how to defend against a left hook. It's the same thing here. It'd be different if every day they told you something different like, well, I'm not buying because the moon's in Aquarius. Or I can't buy because it's a Tuesday. So if you already know what they're going to say ahead of time, there's no reason that you shouldn't be ready. If you're a professional, I should be able to go up to you and say, I need to think about it, go. Or it's too much money, go. Or I need to get 3 estimates, go. And instantly, without thinking, you know how to respond at least one way, if not preferably 2 or 3 different ways. The other side of this is that if you know you're not prepared to handle those 3 things, you're going in the home knowing that you're deficient in that area and are lacking the confidence necessary to do this. Anytime a rep tells me that they're not good at closing, this is what they're saying. They're saying that I'm going into a home where I know I'm not prepared the way I should be. So if you aren't prepared, start studying and practicing this immediately. If you like these type of videos, please check out the video on how and why to bring it to the money or the playlist on closing listed above. If you want more free home improvement sales training, don't forget to check out my blog listed in the description below. Happy selling!